license.
We have the arrest report from Bernie Kosar's DUI.
Oh,
in the fine city of Solon, Ohio, hometown of Dallas Lauderdale.
Oh, yeah.
I believe. Right?
Sure.
I think he's from Solon.
I'll go with it, yeah. In either case, the arrest report is, it's good reading.
This is from the Officer McElroy, his report.
McElroy. Come on.
How do you know?
Scott McElroy. I know him. I don't know.
You don't.
I don't know. Scotty McElroy. He's my buddy.
He writes, I approached the driver. First of all, I observed a black Cadillac traveling eastbound on US 422 at a high rate of speed.
Mm-hmm.
The vehicle was in a construction zone, blah, 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 blah. I approached the driver, advised him of the reason I was stopping him. I asked the driver for his license, and he handed me 2 credit cards. All right, well, he was trying to get the ticket over with. Do you accept plastic? I asked him if he had his driver's license, and he pointed to the credit cards as if he had already given me his license.
Right. What do you need? Do you need my passport, too? I got my Macy's passport here. Hang on. I'll give you that, too.
The name on the card was Bernard Kosar. Mm-hmm. Mr. Kosar had slurred speech, difficulty speaking, and a strong odor of alcoholic beverages coming from him.
Oh, no.
I asked Mr. Kosar if he had anything to drink tonight, and he stated he was helping a friend out tonight. I don't know what that means.
Helping him finish off a 30-pack of Schlitz. That's what he was helping him do.
I asked Mr. Kosar if he could recite the alphabet starting at E. Oh, I couldn't do this. And ending at W.
Yeah, you could. That's easy enough.
I am dyslexic. I can't do that.
I can do it right now.
Well, hold on. Let me do it. Hold on. Because I got to do the first part in my head.
That's okay. They're not looking for you to instantly spit out.
E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W.
Done. Simple.
I know, but
easy.
I feel drunk now.
Okay.
Kosar stated E, F, G, P, L, M, N, O, Q, and from there it trailed on with more letters that were not correct and ended at X.
I love the idea that they said, all right, go from E to W. He's like, well, I don't know if I got it all, but let me end with a bang here. X. Got it.
I don't know how drunk, even at your drunkest, you know that Z is the last letter in the alphabet. Wouldn't you just do that?
Right. I would think.
F and M and Z.
And true, I will say, if they ask you that question, unless you start counting, you should stop. I mean, that doesn't necessarily indicate that you're drunk. It just means that you may not be good with the English language or the alphabet.
We have more. We got to take a break. We have more from the Bernie Kosar arrest report coming up. Common Man and Company, 97.1 The Fan. Talking about drunk Bernie Kosar, we have the arrest report.
And I was the guy who tried to defend Bernie on multiple occasions when he was in the booth earlier this year. People said, and last year, too, in the preseason, they had him in as the analyst, and he sounded kind of drunk. And I said, look, maybe that's the case. I know he's had issues with alcohol, but we also know he has had some issues with head trauma, and maybe there's a chance that some of what you're seeing is head trauma related.
I think there's a chance that a lot of what you're seeing is head trauma related. It doesn't mean that he's not also a drunk.
Correct.
It's probably all the above. He had problems with pain medication. He's had problems with alcohol, and I think he's also had problems from playing in the league.
Well, and that's the thing, though, is I still don't, again, I would not make an excuse for you doing what he did and getting out on the road if he was, it sounds like he was drunk. According to this police report, it sounds like he was very drunk. Just call a taxi or call somebody. You could go in the phone book and just pull a name out and say, hi, I'm Bernie Kosar. Can you take me home? And some Browns fan would probably be, yeah, where you at? I'll come get you.
But they're also drunk.
Well, maybe.
Struggling.
I know that's Joe Namath, but
he also would come and pick up Bernie Kosar.
Struggling.
He'd be struggling to do it.
The police report continues. I asked Mr. Kosar to exit the vehicle in order to perform some field sobriety tests. Mr. Kosar complied. The first test I had Mr. Kosar perform was the horizontal gait.
Gaze.
Maybe I should take that test.
What's the other test they had him do, Mike? Tell me the other test.
Nystagmus.
Yes. No.
Nystagmus.
I don't even know what that means.
Well, then how do you know I wasn't right?
I'm just saying, I've never even heard of that. They said they had him perform the horizontal gaze and the nystagmus.
I observed a lack of smooth pursuit.
Smooth pursuit. New band name right there.
Struggling.
Distant nagismus at maximum deviation.
Whatever that means.
And an onset of nystagmus before 55 degrees in both eyes.
Struggling.
While speaking with Mr. Kosar, I continued to smell the strong odor of alcoholic beverages coming from him. Maybe it's this. Maybe Bernie, at one point in his life, drank so much that's just the smell permanently from him.
It's just kind of saturated the oils of his skin, is what you're saying.
Right. Like, I knew a guy in high school, Mike Maloney.
Yeah.
And he, I think we were a freshman in high school to senior, I don't think this guy ever took a shower.
Oh.
And he would cover it up with cheap Aquavelva, and it smelled horrible, because if you pour Aquavelva on a turd, it smells worse than just the plain turd. It's horrible. You cannot cover up your funky BO with some cheap cologne.
So you're saying that Bernie would use, like, Old Milwaukee as cologne, and he would just dump that all over his body?
I don't know, but I will say this. I ran into Mike Maloney years afterwards, and you could tell that he had grown up and that he was showering. His hair looked clean.
Okay.
He had a girl. She was ugly, but he
had a girl.
He had a girl.
Hey, good for him.
But when I went up to him to shake his hand, I could still smell the faint smell of butt and Aquavelva.
Oh, that's
and
bad.
I don't think he had any Aquavelva on. I just think that was baked right into his skin.
I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that could happen.
Maybe Bernie,
with the alcohol,
would just get so sloppy and, like, pee himself and lay down in the pee.
Right.
That years later, you can still smell that.
Can I ask this question? Because this happened. You're talking about the smell that's ingrained in a human being, right?
I'm trying to.
My grandmother gave my wife a leather jacket that was in her closet. And,
Struggling.
Right. And my grandmother, is
alive?
Yeah, she's alive. No, she's in her...
is she well, or is she...
Struggling.
No, she's good. She's in her 80s.
I'm just going to play that all day.
That's fine. You can. But we got the jacket home, and God bless my grandmother. It was a very nice gesture on her part. But the jacket smelled like an old person's house. Yeah! Do you know what I'm talking about? Like the mothball smell? When does that start? What age is it where suddenly things... Because I've been over to my parents' house. They're getting close to 60, and as of yet, I have not smelled that smell.
I have.
You have at your parents?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what I don't know is when is the age, and how do you have to go to the, do you just decide one day, mothballs, it's time? Or do you just, I don't understand why that smell suddenly permeates. Why is there an old person smell?
I don't know. And I think it's different for every person. Like mothball, that's your family's old person smell.
Okay.
I think mine is hand cream and butt.
Like what kind, are we talking like scented hand cream? Or are we talking just straight out like Avon
scented,
lotion?
No, scented hand cream.
Oh, okay.
Like old person Noxzema-y type hand cream.
Oh, all right.
They still make Noxzema?
I don't know.
If they do, my parents are buying it.
I bet they are.
Taking baths in it.
Just like Bernie Kosar, taking a bath in alcohol.
I asked Mr. Kosar if he had any problems that would prevent him from performing the one-leg stand or walk and turn test. Mr. Kosar stated that he had a lot of surgeries on his knees and ankles because his line couldn't block.
That might be the best line of this whole thing. At least Bernie had a sense of humor about this.
I asked Mr. Kosar to take a portable breath test, and Mr. Kosar stated that he was told never to take those.
Yes,
because he breaks them.
His attorney just said, you're going to need the blood test anyway. Just give it as long as you can, Bernie. Maybe some of it will soak out before you get there.
Struggling.
That's right.
Oh, okay. That's Bernie Kosar for you. That's the arrest report.